And we welcome Gina Milano, who is one of San Francisco's top club owners, entertainment entrepreneurs. She developed the Bambuda hut in the Civic Center area. No, I said the Civic Center area. And her newest hot venture is the club on Nob Hill. Welcome.
Thank you. Well, I must correct you and say it's Bambuda Lounge.
Lounge.
Bambuda Lounge.
There is a bamboo hut.
There's a bamboo hut in North Beach. This is Bambuda Lounge.
Look, you know, for you, it's irrelevant, but there's not a lot of women who are in this field, is there?
That's absolutely true, and it is actually very relevant. I find myself very much working in a man's world, but I think that it adds a really it's a je ne sais quoi, you know, to the businesses that I run. Having a female at the helm, having myself there, I tend to hire female staff, which is very interesting, and I think people really love it.
Okay, now we know how far you have come because you worked very hard in this world to get to where you are. I mean, you know the insides and outs of clubs. You know that they're kind of, they have a life of their own.
Right.
And they can change. So when you went, tell me when you went into this first venture at the hut. Okay, this place was a motel, wasn't it?
Yes.
And it's like many of those motels down there. I mean, they're all the same. What did you see when you saw it, and how did it evolve? How did the idea come about?
Well, it's interesting because I've been very lucky in that the way I develop a concept is generally that I'm bored in San Francisco with what's happening, usually followed by a bunch of travel, you know, to exotic places, seeing things that I really like and enjoy, and recognizing that there is a space for something like this in San Francisco. There's a missing element in San Francisco's nightlife. And I usually develop a concept and it will be sitting kind of on the back burner for about a year, and the space always presents itself to me. So Chip Conley, who's the owner of the Phoenix Hotel there, had heard that I had this concept, which was Bambuda Lounge, kind of bamboo and Buddha and very Southeast Asian, very much an indoor-outdoor concept. And he had this hotel there at Civic Center, which is quite an infamous hotel. It's a rock star hotel. And, you know, we spoke to each other. He loved it. And that's how I ended up doing Bambuda Lounge there.
Okay. And did it turn out the way you thought it would? I mean, and most importantly, when you open the doors, you don't know who's going to come in the doors.
That's very true.
Right? It's your club until you open up the doors. When the people started coming, what happened?
Well, Bambuda opened to rave reviews. It was a hit from the start. My biggest concern with Bambuda was that it was the first lounge concept in San Francisco, which was a restaurant dining into a nightclub, you know, staying open until 2 in the morning. And a lot of people were naysayers, like, oh, that can't work, the concept's never worked here before. But, you know, I had a lot of faith, and I knew that, I knew it was a well-developed concept. I knew I had thought about it long enough, and I knew what I wanted to do, and I knew the clientele I wanted to attract. What was interesting was that when Michael Bauer wrote the review of Bambuda, and he gave us a very positive review, he had made a comment about the demographic and how it was kind of all across the board, that he was surprised to see older people, younger people, you know, hip model types, and he just went on and on about this demographic. And Bambuda was very much that. I wanted it to be something that was accessible and that was interesting and new. I wanted the vibe to be very Southeast Asian, kind of mellow, exotic, you know, in the heart of the Tenderloin, which was really a great thing. People walk in and they go, wow, this is this oasis here. And, you know, it wasn't really demographic specific. And the club is very much that way as well. I more so create the space knowing that I want the people who come there want a specific experience as opposed to I want this type of person there. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure, sure. But and did it consistently, the first one, we're going to get to the club in a minute, did the Bambuda hut, I have to be careful.
Bambuda
hut. Did it continue to be the same club, or did it change as the months go by?
Well, something like Bambuda that was very trendy and is very trendy does change. It's been 5 years now, and it's definitely changed. And then, of course, there's also lots of imitators, which, of course, is the greatest form of compliment.
And the lounge concept is
absolutely, the lounge concept has exploded.
Yeah.
So all these other places open up, so you kind of end up losing your group. They kind of go to these new lounges and what have you. But it's interesting because new people are always showing up. You know, I mean, frequently I'm at Bambuda, and from day one I'd be there. I would do 300 covers.
And you're still doing it.
Oh, yeah.
You're managing that
absolutely.
Club. And now we're going to go to Nob Hill. Okay. Tell us about what happened and how you found the club.
Well, something very special is going on Nob Hill right now. And this was another situation.
I saw it with my own eyes. I couldn't believe it.
Thank you. This is another situation where I had a concept on the back burner. I was thinking about this private club ambiance. You know, San Francisco was lacking something that was somewhat sophisticated, very glamorous, very retro chic, that was really specific to a type of person. I had become this type of person. You know, I'm now in my 30s, and when I did Bambuda, I wanted to be at Bambuda. I wanted some sexy, kind of half-dressed, you know, Asian, Miami Beach feeling thing.
Right.
And now I want something else. I want to be able to wear
as shocking as coming to the club was to see you again and to see that transformation.
Yes, that's absolutely correct.
Because you flow in that club, and of course you're a key part of it.
Yes.
You know, and you, we try in the short time we have. We got to try to capture. When I came, I sat down next to one of the most established people in San Francisco society, and as we went through, we saw young people.
Yes.
Carmen Policy, who had been a guest here.
Yes. The inventor of Viagra.
You mentioned that. And others. You can mention their names if you like. It's just remarkable how many different people have come together, at least at this point, and felt comfortable with each other.
Yes. And the beauty of the club is that when people walk in, they end up knowing someone almost instantly. It's very, very, 2 degrees of separation. Like someone sees a friend, and then all of a sudden there's a friend of a friend. Like that evening you were with Jim Wonderman, and Carmen Policy was there. And it's very much that type of place. I think a lot of that is attributed to the neighborhood that it's in.
Nob Hill.
We get a lot of locals. We get a lot, and a lot of people coming from, the Marina, Pacific Heights. And I think that it's very much a word-of-mouth establishment. You know, there's really not been any advertising. And the greatest compliment for me is word of mouth. When someone says, oh, I heard about it because my friend, who's equally fabulous, told me about the club.
And that's continuing now.
Yes. More so than ever, yes.
I mean, tell me about the ghost.
Yeah, the ghost is
there a
pretty
ghost
neat.
really there?
There's a ghost. I'm sure of it. I'm from New Orleans, so I kind of grew up with.
You respect that.
Yes, I do.
So what you felt something?
Yes.
You haven't seen anything.
Yes, and there was a 7x7 article.
Yes,
and,
everyone should see it. It's the current issue.
Yes, the current issue.
They can go to the website 7by7.com and they can see your video interview of you too.
Yes, that's right. And the last page mentions the ghost, and I call the ghost Charlie, affectionately, because Le Club was Le Club for 35 years, from 1962 to 1990s something, and then Charles Condé bought it and opened up Charles Nob Hill. So we do have, this is a very old building, 1927, historic landmark building, and everything electrical, computer-oriented, telephones is always on the skits. There's always these issues.
You think that might be Charlie then?
Yeah, maybe. And in the 7x7 article, the last page, it mentions the ghost, and there's actually this little, this bubble light thing that shows up in that last photo that nobody caught.
So he got himself into the...
Yeah.
Tell us about that history of John F. Kennedy and many...
Yes. In the very beginning, John was there. I've heard this numerous times. One of the famous things that Le Club did was they had these matchbooks. I should have brought a set up here actually to show you, but they said Le Club, and when you made a reservation, they would emboss your name on the back of the matchbook, and people love that. And I've had numerous guests bring me their matchbooks from the original Le Club. The return guests to Le Club, it's fabulous. Like that right there, that heritage and history of people who live in the neighborhood. I've actually had the owners of the previous Le Club in the space, and they love it, and they come all the time. So just people coming back to the space and enjoying it and rejoicing in it.
It's strange. It's a neighborhood pub. It just happens to be Nob Hill, right?
It's not really a pub.
I'm being that if in every neighborhood in San Francisco there are the neighborhood
watering hole. Yes,
watering
yes.
hole. And here it just happens to be on Nob Hill. Here's a question I have for you. If I remember when I came in the door, you had 3 people downstairs scrutinizing.
Yes.
What are you going to do, as I think is going to happen, where this is going to hit even the international tourist, not tourist, but celebrity circle? You know what I mean? And you can only, by fire marshal's regulations, put how many people in there?
Right.
40?
I'm not going to comment on that.
I'm not going to. Now, what's going to happen to those guys down in the lobby when they start having 40 celebrities plus 40 other celebrities?
It's already happened. It's already happened.
Who do you say no to?
It's interesting. I've had to go out there on numerous occasions and tell people, I'm sorry, we're booked this evening, because it is reservation only, yes?
At this point it is?
Yes, but I'll let people call, and it will always be, because it's such a small space. I have a finite amount of space, and I have people who want to get in there. And I have a very interesting reservation system where I profile all of my guests, so we know kind of who's who. And so what happens is, yeah, it does get a little busy sometimes. People want to come in. If they don't have a reservation, we'll turn them away. I've turned away friends before and said, you know, guys, please, it's really busy. Come back tomorrow night. Give them the business card. There's definitely a way to handle this. Some people, of course, I would never deny. I let them in. But, yeah, it's a kind of a sticky situation when you do something like this. But
Popularity.
I think that my being on site is key to managing the situation.
And you've done that consistently.
Yes, yes. Every night, 7 days a week right now.
You love it.
I love it. I love it right now. And you know, I've really set.
And you're the darling now of the society in San Francisco.
When you become a celebrity with the celebrity.
Unlike so many people in San Francisco, that when they do get into the spotlight, you know, they sometimes can't handle it. Even though this is a small town, in LA, it might make some difference. You're in a spotlight. Right. You seem like someone who it doesn't make any difference.
Right now.
You're going to continue to be successful, and that's why I want to ask you. You have obviously the ability to see trends. The whole lounge thing, I didn't realize that you actually anticipated. What do you think is coming next for Gina Milano?
I think in San Francisco we'll continue to see the trend of places getting smaller and more intimate. I think places like Spruce, SPQR, they all evidence this. Like, people want a more intimate relationship with the space and the guests that are within the space. And for myself, you know, I always have something in the works. There's always something new.
Well, let me start before you go to that area. Do you have any intention, like many people do, to duplicate Le Club in other cities or expand it laterally?
I think it's a great idea. You know, when I did Le Club and Bambuda as well, Le Club is a great concept that could go nationally, and then have reciprocity amongst the Le Club brand, you know, kind of as a, we know you here, you're kind of a VIP guest there, you know, come here, this sort of thing. And I would actually like to do something like that. I love San Francisco. You know, I'm a huge fan of San Francisco. I love being here.
New Orleans is a lot like San Francisco.
It is. It's got lots of character and charm. But I will say I love traveling outside of San Francisco. You know, I get a little bored in San Francisco, so you'll find me a lot of times in New York or LA or even Chicago.
Can you do that now with 2 clubs?
I don't know.
A little more difficult, huh?
It's a little bit more difficult. It's always more difficult.
All right, so what is coming? What do you have something? I can tell by your eyes you see another concept already. Can you talk about it?
Well, I will say this. Usually, like I said before, I have a concept, and the space finds me. I've been very lucky that way. The Le Club space found me. I didn't go looking for it.
1 minute. You may be off the hook now. So if you just stall, you won't have to tell me about it.
I know, exactly.
A little glimpse of what you see that you think might
Actually, I would like to do something similar to Le Club. Multiple rooms, multiple entertainment points, you know, so it's not just a nightclub situation or just a bar situation. Multiple rooms, multiple entertainment points. There is a concept in my head. Okay. It's really cool. I'm not going to divulge it.
All right. I think it's smart not to, which is why you're successful
That's true.
At this. And I think it's great because we're fans of you, and we believe that, you know, you're serious. You're a wonderful, charming, but you're also very serious, and that's what makes success.
Thank you so much.
To be able to combine that. So I wish you the best, and you know, when you deny us at the door and tell us that we can't get in, we'll remember that we still knew you back a while back. Gina Milano, thanks for being with us.
Of course, thank you.
Hope you enjoyed tonight's program. We'll see you next time.
You can now watch previous episodes of San Francisco Unscripted on demand. Go to Channel 1, then Bay on Demand, then Comcast Hometown, then SF Unscripted, and pick the show you want to watch. For program schedules, post-production notes, and free streaming video of select interviews, visit our website.